Following our webinars for the Pentagon community, we received some great questions, and I hope that this will answer some of those questions today. This is my partner, Lee London. I'm Michael Barasch. Our first question regards prostate cancer. It happens to be the second most common cancer in the 9/11 community, in part because that jet fuel keeping the fires going for weeks on end, both in the Pentagon and at the World Trade Center. So one question we had, Lee, was about PSA tests. And the question is, does the World Trade Center Health Program employ this test as a chance to find prostate cancer?
To answer that question, it is yes. They will test for it if you ask for it. So I want to encourage everybody who goes to the World Trade Center Health Program, who believes and thinks that their PSA levels are high, is to ask for it. Ask for a full evaluation, because you can go to your private doctors as well, but you must bring this up to the attention to the health program so they can specifically look at it.
I will tell you, as a prostate cancer survivor myself, that I first got an indication that I had prostate cancer because all of a sudden my PSA level spiked. I had been going for my annual physical, and all of a sudden the numbers went over 4.0. So I went to a specialist, and he's the one who then sent me for an MRI based on the PSA findings. And the MRI then led to a biopsy. That's where I was officially diagnosed with prostate cancer. So it's important that every man go for an annual exam, get his prostate manually checked, and give a blood sample so that there's a PSA test. If the people at the health program hear that you have frequent urination in the middle of the night, that's one of the signs that your prostate is enlarged. It does not mean that you have prostate cancer, but it may mean you have an infection. You must express your concerns about this, and then the PSA will be covered by the health program.
Now, Michael, after you saw your private doctor, did you go back to the World Trade Center Health Program, give him these findings, and they'd run further tests?
They offered to. The fact is, I like my private doctor, and I'm going to stay with my private doctor. And God forbid I ever get any other cancer, like skin cancer, which is the most common cancer, basal cell, squamous cell, and melanoma. That too will be covered. But you do have to go to your private doctor for a private dermatology exam once a year, and you should go to your private doctor for a prostate exam as well. Another question we're getting about prostate cancer is whether the associated conditions of erectile dysfunction and incontinence are covered by the health program, and does the Victim Compensation Fund award extra money if you have either of those associated conditions?
That's a great question, because many of our clients that have prostate cancer, some experience horrible side effects such as ED, erectile dysfunction, and impotence, incontinence due to this condition, but not everybody. The Victim Compensation Fund looks to see the severity of the condition to determine an award amount, and many people have different degrees of severity. But all of these side effects must be brought to the attention of the World Trade Center Health Program so they can be certified as an associated condition to the prostate cancer, and you can show the Victim Compensation Fund the severity that you're going to.
Right. So often guys are embarrassed to talk about this,
all the time.
So they don't mention it to the doctors. Please don't suffer in silence. Often it doesn't last for the rest of your life. It will come back, these functions, but it's important that you do document this to your doctor so that you get the full compensation for prostate cancer that you're entitled to. Lee, another common question we get asked is about high blood pressure and hypertension. Is that covered by the health program? And if not, why not?
So that's a great question, and we get that asked very frequently. Hypertension on its own is not currently covered by the World Trade Center Health Program. However, the more people, the more of the 9/11 community, especially the Pentagon community, that joins the World Trade Center Health Program, the more data the health program has to add further conditions. And that's why it's so important that everyone takes advantage of these programs.
You know, your answer reminded me of another question that we get quite frequently is about autoimmune diseases, which have not yet been linked to the World Trade Center toxins or the Pentagon toxins. However, many of our clients suffer from neuropathy, and that's basically numbness of especially the hands and the arms. It's called peripheral neuropathy. And while it's by itself, it is not a covered condition, quite often people who have chemotherapy for their 9/11 related cancers, that can lead to neuropathy, and then it is a covered condition. We also get a lot of questions about the way Medicare interacts with the World Trade Center Health Program. Tell us, is there any risk at all to having any problems with Medicare if you also sign up with the World Trade Center Health Program?
Many people, and especially in the 9/11 community, don't want to interrupt their healthcare routine that they have. They don't want to add another program because they feel like it will impact the other programs that they're so familiar with. But it's time that the 9/11 community took advantage of the health program and realized it will have zero effect on any of their current benefits. If anything, it's an extra shield, an extra safeguard to help you through this process. The World Trade Center Health Program will cover all of your medical care, your co-pays, all of these costs, and will have no impact on any current benefits that you currently have already.
Right.
And it's a very amazing program.
As John Stewart, our friend, likes to say, access what you are entitled to. This is just an added layer of protection for you. It'll pick up all the co-pays, all the deductibles for the rest of your life. Please take advantage of this.